June 25, 2024. It's happening. Tomorrow morning, we're getting into the car with all of my clothes, some books and Louis, and drive to Italy. To move there. It feels, however cliché, like the start of a new chapter. The moments where a new phase of life begins are not always very clear. Sometimes they sneak up on you, and suddenly you realize things have slowly changed over time. But sometimes they are obvious. A graduation, a breakup, a job offer, the moment you step into your small red car and start the engine. It's something beautiful to choose to build a life with the person you love, but it's scary to give up so many other things. Or maybe not give up, they will just take different shapes. My friendships will be more intentional, less spontaneous coffee dates and bookstore trips, and more writing letters. I will miss out on time with my family, birthdays, celebrations. I will be the one on a phone screen from now on. But there's also room for new things. A completely new side of myself to explore. All familiar things gone and only new things to discover. And I'm ready for all of it.
There it is. Being passed. Drive like a grandpa.
It's so you can take stable videos. Doing it for you. Baby. Who are those?
Comfort. Are you liking Wiki Beer?
10 out of 10.
Beautiful.
How do I like Wiki Beer?
Yeah.
I want to buy a house here. But we need to buy like a whole building. The ground floor is going to be your bookstore.
Okay. I agree.
And the first floor, it's going to be my studio.
It's all first floor.
And then the rest of the house, we're going to leave there.
Okay. I think this is the one we need to buy. Hello, we're back, and this time live from Italy. I moved to Italy like 3-4 weeks ago, and I have finally settled in a little. And the next 2.5 days my boyfriend is busy with doing photo shoots, so I have the house to myself and I have some time to go exploring by myself. Because so many people have been asking me like, how is it there? Are you used to it already? How does it feel to live in another country? And I don't really know what to say to that. I just don't know, because I haven't ventured out in the world outside of my apartment and like our neighborhood yet. We've mostly been busy decorating the apartment and hanging out with our neighbors and going to the park, which is very close to our apartment. And that's it. I haven't really been doing much else. So it doesn't really feel like I'm in a different country yet. I haven't really done anything for myself or went out exploring for myself. And I thought now was a good time to do that. The only big difference with moving here so far has been the weather. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sweating right now. It's like 35 degrees every day, and we do not have air conditioning. A lot of houses here do not have air conditioning. So I've been living in front of the fan, but I had to turn it off for the video. So yeah, it's been pretty hot, which also made it hard to do things around the house. But I'm also enjoying it a lot because you can live outside a lot. We've been cooling off under the trees and in the river in the park, and it's been amazing. But that's also the reason why I haven't done much else. This morning I've been deep cleaning the kitchen and filmed a few TikToks. And this afternoon is completely open and free. So I might go to the park and read there, and I'll take you with me. But first, time for the fan. Oh my god. Can we take a moment for how pristine the kitchen looks right now? Queen of cleaning the kitchen at 35 degrees. I'm currently reading Agua Viva by Clarice Lispector. Everyone on Instagram has been telling me that I will love this. Some people said it's like me in a book, so I couldn't resist. And it has been delivering. It's nothing like I expected. I knew it was like observations about life, but it's written like a stream of consciousness. It really feels like she sat down, put her pen on a paper, and didn't stop writing until this was done in like a sort of delirious state. From the introduction, I learned that that is not the case. She actually took several years to write this, which is very surprising to me because it flows so perfectly. It has just so many beautiful sentences. It really reads like a poem of 88 pages long. And I just want to read you a piece that I especially loved. I'm currently like halfway. As if ripping from the depths of the earth the knotted roots of a rare tree, that's how I write to you. And those roots as if they were powerful tentacles, like voluminous naked bodies of strong women, entwined by serpents and by carnal desires for fulfillment. And all this is the prayer of a black mass, and the creeping plea for Amen, because the bed is unprotected and needs the approval of God. That is creation. That is like a poem into itself, and then there's only one tiny paragraph of this whole book, and everything is beautiful like this. I just read the part where she describes flowers and like the feeling she has with them and what she associates them with, and it was beautiful. So I'm really loving this so far. I think this might become one of like my Bibles, the books that I keep rereading and keep coming back to, and that tell me something about myself every time. I haven't really looked into the meaning of this work yet and what she wanted to say with it. For me, it reads like the spiritual awakening of being a woman and seeing the suffering and pain in this world and feeling your own carnal desires and what it all means. Kind of like a witch's awakening, if I can call it that. And she might not have meant that at all, but that's how I read it. And I love reading books that I can interpret the meaning for myself and take out of it what I feel. And this has definitely been doing that. So I can't wait to go to the park and properly finish reading this there. I just spent the last hour hunched over on a bench in the park with extreme stomach ache, but like extreme. I literally thought like I might have to call the hospital if it stays like this. I had this last week as well, completely out of the blue. I was going to swim by a waterfall on the mountain, and as we got out of the car and started walking, it just felt like there were knives in my lower stomach, and it sort of like spread out to my upper legs and my lower back, and I had to sit down there as well, and after like 45 minutes, an hour, it went away. So I was like, okay, that was weird, but maybe my period symptoms are just suddenly really bad. Maybe my hormones are disbalanced because of the heat and the stress. So I didn't think too much of it, but now it just happened again, and I'm a little worried. So I may have to go to a doctor at some point. I do feel a little better now, luckily. I could make it to the area I wanted to go after sitting on the bench for an hour. And now I'm just gonna sit here, like folded together like this as well, and just hope it will completely go away so I can walk home later. But yeah, that's really weird, and I think I should do something with that. But obviously going to a doctor here is not that easy because I don't speak the language. Louis is just getting stuck in all the branches. But yeah, I don't know the language, so my boyfriend has to come to like translate and stuff. I have to get actual examinations. I don't know, I just feel like that's complicated when you just move to another country, but we'll see. Let's hope it doesn't come back anymore. But it was weird. Now I'm going to enjoy my time in the park and read and journal, and I'm very excited. First, let me show you where I'm sitting right now. This area is so insanely beautiful. It's like a fairy tale. I can't explain it to you, I just have to show it. This little brook, this little stream. At the start of it, there's a tiny waterfall. Look at the sun filtering through the trees and all the vines climbing up on the trees. Oh my god, it's just so magical. And then here, between the trees, is an open field with like white flowers all over the field. And I'm sitting against the most majestic tree ever. Like, I can't really show you how big this tree is, but it's enormous. And it's soft, and the color is just so beautiful. I don't know, I feel an emotional attachment to this tree. I hugged it before, my boyfriend was like, okay. But look how big it is. I can't even see the top. It just looks like a fairy tale tree. Like the water streaming there. So magical. Louis likes it here too, because it's a lot cooler than in the house. Surrounds me and is me. I hear the mad song of a little bird and crush butterflies between my fingers. I'm a fruit eaten away by a worm, and I await the orgasmic apocalypse. It's just so visceral. Like all the imagery she uses, I adore it. It's perfect. I'm in love with this book. The most magical thing you've ever read. Or maybe I'm just a sucker for references to any witchiness, fantastical worlds, mythical creatures, magic, alchemy. Anyway, it's the next day and this vlog is going a little different than planned because I wanted to do all these fun things. Take you along to the bookstore maybe to Milano, I don't know. But as you can see, I'm not looking my best right now, and that's because I think something is truly wrong with me. Like after my really bad stomachache attack from yesterday, the stomachache didn't really fully go away like it did last time. It just sort of kept going on as this dual ache. Also throughout the night I didn't sleep great because of the pain. And today I don't feel good. I feel feverish, but I don't know if it's the heat or really like a fever, and I can just feel something's wrong in my stomach, and specifically I think it's my uterus. So I'm just scared there's like an infection going on there or something. But I'm all alone these days. Of course, I get sick exactly when my boyfriend is away for work for 3 days. So if you're in a country where not a lot of people speak English and you don't speak the language yet, then you feel quite alone. Like I had no idea what to do. But in the end, my boyfriend texted his mom, and his mom started looking for a doctor who was available for me today. And she found one. She's taking me to a gynecologist because I just think it's my uterus, so that would be the most logical first step. And if she doesn't see anything there, then I can look further what it is. Yeah, but I'm so grateful that she's willing to help me and come to get me and translate at the doctors and all that stuff. Because yeah, this is something I didn't think about when moving to another country. You can get sick and you need to go to the doctors. Like I thought about it, but I never go to the doctors. Like I can't remember the last time I went to the doctor in the Netherlands. So it's very typical that in my first month here I need to go right away. But yeah, maybe something was slumbering inside me and the stress brought it out. I don't know, but all I know is I'm not feeling so good, and I just want to make sure it's not something that needs to be treated like soon, like an infection or something, just in case. I do have something fun that I can show you right now because it's my birthday and the end of the month. My birthday is on July 30. I'm turning 28. And I decided to do a birthday haul for myself. I just ordered a bunch of books that had been on my TBR for a long time. But the books come in gradually, like one every few days. So I haven't been able to restrain myself and already unpacked all of them. And even read one of them already, which is Aqua Viva. So I thought, why not show you the books I have so far as a little book haul. I don't think I'm gonna do like a full birthday book haul on YouTube, so I can just show you in this vlog. I already got a bunch of books for my haul, and there's going to be more. It was a big haul, but I'm turning 28, so I deserve it. So first one you've already seen, Aqua Viva by Clarice Lispector. Finished it this morning, absolutely loved it. I gave it 4 stars just because towards the end I got a little bored of the repetition. But other than that, really amazing read, and I think I will reread it so often and find something new every time. So I'm very excited for that. Then I have The Lottery by Shirley Jackson and Other Stories. This cover is hideous, and I did not order that one. I ordered another one, but I got this one. It's fine, we'll deal. Yeah, I loved We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, and I want to read more by her. And I've heard so many good things about The Lottery. I think one of my friends also read it and was really positive about it, so there's that. Then we have The Friday Afternoon Club by Griffin Dunne, which is a memoir. I don't personally know who Griffin Dunne is, but apparently he is someone who grew up in very famous circles in LA. So this is a memoir of his life, and there's a lot of like famous people that were in his life, in his youth. He hung out with Joan Didion a lot, and I know a lot of people don't like his books because there are a lot of name dropping. That's also what people say about Just Kids by Patti Smith. But somehow I love it. I don't know why. I know it's name dropping, and I know sometimes it can be a bit much, but I love transporting myself into a world I will never have access to, and the names just enhance that world for me. I'm genuinely impressed when I see like, oh, you knew Joan Didion? You hung out with her as a kid? Sure, cool. It impresses me, I'm sorry. So I love reading memoirs like this, and this just came out a few weeks ago I think, so it's fairly new, so I haven't seen a lot of reviews about it yet, but it sounds really fun. Then I have Dancing with the Gods by Kent Nairburn. This was recommended to me by a follower on my video of my Bibles, like books I read a lot and like got a lot of lessons out. Someone recommended this in the comments, and this is a book about creativity and art and making art, and it supposedly helps you to motivate to find your true artistic self. Like it sounds a little bit like, how did I forget the name? It was in my Bibles video. I have to look it up. Okay, found it, Letters to a Young Poet. It sounds like Letters to a Young Poet because this book, the premise is also that the writer of the book, Ken Nairburn, he receives a letter from a young woman questioning her dream of devoting her life to the arts, and he replies to her, and basically this book is his reply to this woman, and he talks about his own vision on art and creativity and being your true self, blah blah blah. But that's basically the same premise as Letters to a Young Poet, but I love that one, so I want to read more like that, so we'll see. I hope this one contains the same wisdom as that one does. Then I have a full trilogy, the trilogy of A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. I was looking for a cozy witchy read or a cozy fantasy read because I'm just craving one, but I couldn't find one. I think I already read the ones that appealed to me. Unfortunately, a lot of those cozy novels, like the writing is not great, so that bothers me a lot, and I haven't found like the perfect mix yet. But then I came across this one, and I had seen the show around and I knew this book existed, but I never really looked further into what it was about. But it sounds amazing. It's like a dark academia story about witches and magic and other mythical creatures. Why did I get the full trilogy right away, you may ask? Because that's always a mistake. That's because somehow the full trilogy was cheaper than just the first book. I don't know why, but I didn't question it. I got the full trilogy. But I'm very excited to read this. I'm just craving fall reads already. I don't know what's going on. Like, maybe because the summer here is so intense, I'm already like, oh my god, fall. That's what I need. And I'm just buying the books that go with it. So if you've read this, please let me know how it was, because I'm very curious and I just don't see it around a lot. So that is the haul for now. If more books arrive throughout the week, I'll probably let you know in this vlog. And now I'm gonna go back to work. July 19, 2024. My gut feeling was right. I went to the gynecologist yesterday and got an internal scan. It was my first one, and I was scared about how invasive it would feel, especially since the gynecologist was a man. But he was the only one who spoke English, and beggars can't be choosers. But it was alright. When he turned on the computer, it showed the scan of the previous patient, which was a fetus, so I joked to him, "That's not what I was hoping to see." He didn't laugh. Soon into the scan, he told me, "This is your left ovary, it looks perfectly healthy. This is your right one. Here, there's a cyst growing of about 6 centimeters. That, unfortunately, is the result of endometriosis." I have endometriosis, a chronic illness, and the cause of the immense pain. Something that could impact my fertility if it not already has. So the joke about the fetus suddenly seemed pretty cruel. What now? I need to get more tests done to see how far the endometriosis has spread, to see if it has impacted my uterus, and to see if I need surgery on the cyst. I don't know. It feels not quite real yet. It is the next day, and I've recovered a little from the shock of my endometriosis diagnosis. This morning I was feeling a little emotional and lost dealing with it, but I've journaled a little, I've calmed down. I called my insurance in the Netherlands to ask what the best next steps are and if the surgery here would be covered. I think it will not be because it's not urgent, as in it is pretty urgent, but not so urgent that I have to do it like next week. I could do it like in a few months. So I have to see. I think I'm first going to the clinic in Milano that the gynecologist recommended me yesterday, because they have to do further research to see how far the endometriosis has spread, and they would also make a plan of treatment and advice for surgery. So when I have those documents, I can use them to send them to my insurance and ask if they would cover it. And if they do not, then I have to decide what to do. Because if I go back to the Netherlands for treatment and surgery, that would take so much time and so much flying back and forth, because obviously I would have to get all the tests done there again, because they would not probably give me surgery based on my Italian test results. And I don't know, my mind is just overflowing right now. But today I'm going to take it easy, I'm going to read, I'm going to make a coffee right now and relax. This is what I'm reading right now. It's called Shred Sisters and it's by Betsy Lerner. This is an advanced reader's copy. which the author kindly sent to me. And she, Betsy Lerner, is the editor of the books of Patti Smith. Like, she edited Just Kids, which is one of the most iconic books of all time, in my opinion. And we've been texting a little on TikTok, like we've been chatting. She said she loved my videos. She told me I could play Patti Smith in the movie if there was ever a movie made of Just Kids, which Patti Smith would never allow. That's what she said. Oh my god, like this might be my greatest achievement so far. Like, cool, interesting people think that I'm cool too. That's the only validation I need. Reading her book right now, and it's amazing so far. It's about the relationship between two sisters. One is like super wild and has a lot of mental struggles, and the other sister is very perfectionistic and doesn't understand why her sister is so wild. And it's about the tension between those two, I think, and how they deal with their relationship throughout their life. And I love stories about sisters because I have two sisters, so that relationship has always fascinated me. Luckily, my relationship with my sisters is a lot better than the one in this book, but it's still very fascinating to read, and it's really well written and it reads so fast. And somehow, this is one of those books that stays in my mind a lot. Nothing extraordinary is happening so far, but the way the author talks about certain things, they just stay in my mind and they pop up throughout the day where I'm like, oh, the character of this book did this in this way. And that is usually a sign for me that a book is making an impact on me. So I'm very curious to see how this one goes further. I'm currently 111 pages in, almost halfway. So I'm definitely going to read a bit of this today and maybe some other books, I don't know. I have such a great pile waiting for me, so I'm really excited to read all of them. So I might spread out my reading a little today. And then tonight I have the concert of Pooh. Pooh is an Italian band and they make Italian music. And they're quite old. I think they're like in their 80s right now. And my boyfriend loves them. His dad always took him and his brother to the concert when they were younger. So the band is very important and like nostalgic to him. And the band stopped for a few years, but right now they are doing like sort of last tour, like a comeback tour, but it's also their last one because they're so old. So this is like the last opportunity to see them live, and I gave tickets to his birthday. So I'm very excited to see them, that I still get the chance to see one of his favorite bands live, probably for the last time. Obviously, I don't know any of the songs, I cannot sing along because it's all in Italian, but the music they make is really good. But because it's such an old band, they mostly only have older fans, so there's only chairs at the concert, which right now is really good for me because I cannot really stand for too long. So that's a win. And I'm just going to bring my painkillers and hope for the best. But right now, coffee. This afternoon we watched a movie called The Secrets of Moonacre. I saw some clips of it on TikTok and I was like, oh my god, I have to watch that because the aesthetic was just 10 out of 10. It's very 90s. I think the movie came out in like 2009, but it's very 90s vibe. It's very camp. It's a bit ridiculous. It's a children's movie, so there's some ridiculous elements to it. But the whole look of the movie, it's stunning. Like, I filmed some clips so you can see for yourself how beautiful it is, and I think this will convince you to watch it too. I just had to include it. I had the best time. My boyfriend was constantly like, wow, this movie is so weird, but I was like, don't you see? You have to have the vision, you have to understand the vibe. I got the vibe. Anyway, we're now ready to go to the concert, which is at Lago di Como. And as you can see, I was in a witchy mood today. I don't know. I don't even know what kind of music it is. I don't know if it's rock, hopefully. So I fit the vibe, but I'll show you the outfit. So here is the full look. This is a Laura Ashley skirt that I thrifted. It's like velvet and so gorgeous. It flows so beautifully. And then I have a little black corset top and some jewelry. This necklace is from the jewelry line from Carissa. Her name is The Love Witch on Instagram, and she did a jewelry line with On Ruth Jewelry. And it's so cute. I love anything Sacred Heart related. And this is just a really old locket I have from childhood. There's a picture of my sister in there. And yeah, That's the full look. I don't have any black bags with me right now in Italy yet, so I'm just bringing a tote bag that my friend illustrated, Leora. And that's it.